Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Time to Grow Up podcast. I'm your host Jaslyn, and this is a podcast where we talk about everything that is involved with going through your 20s, and we're going to be navigating that together. So today I'm going to be talking about my journey and relationship with social media and why I ended up quitting social media. I haven't had social media in about 2 months. The only reason I have it now is for this podcast to share clips and stuff so I can get it out there, but in a more like consumeristic mindset with social media, I haven't had it for the past 2 months because it was too much for me personally, for my mental health and overall well-being, because TikTok and all those apps were just not conducive to what I was trying to do in life. And I actually wrote a blog post about this a couple months ago, and I will link it in the show notes in the description of this episode if anybody is interested in checking it out, because me and social media have had a tumultuous relationship. I've, deleted my accounts, I've deleted the app, re-downloaded it, deleted it again, re-downloaded it again. So it's been a crazy little journey with me and social media. We have a love-hate relationship, and this is just going to be me talking about my experience with social media, and if you've been thinking about deleting it, maybe you should, and I'll give you some tangible tips on how you can kind of reevaluate your relationship with social media and figure out, do I really need this? Probably not. So let's get started. But social media has been a part of my life since I was 12 years old. I made a Facebook account in my grandma's living room when I was 11. When you're only allowed to get a Facebook account when you're 13, but I was like, whatever, I'm gonna get one at 11, and I had to lie about my birthday. So my birthday on Facebook is still 2 years older than I actually am because I never fixed it. And maybe that should have told me that maybe I just don't need social media that young, but I didn't listen. Because then when I was 12 or 13, I think, is when I started watching YouTube, and I started making, YouTube videos in my bedroom, and I had social media ever since. I grew up on Smosh and Gen X Pen and all those, OG YouTubers I used to watch all the time, and I wanted to be just like them. So I think that's why my social media started so young, is because I wanted to be like these creators that I followed all the time and make videos about them. I used to be obsessed with Cameron Dallas and MagCon. I had a fan account for Cameron Dallas where I would make edits and stuff when I was in high school. So if that ages me any, that is my era of social media, is MagCon boys and seeing Shawn Mendes before he became the Shawn Mendes who he is today. And it was just a crazy era to be on social media. We had Vine as well, and it was just a crazy time. And that is when my relationship with social media, took me on its grips, and I just let go a couple months ago, and it's been great ever since. But yeah, I used to, and even in college is when I think my social media addiction, I guess you could say, really took off, because I would watch TikTok for 2 or 3 hours straight. I would just sit there and scroll and binge watch and scroll and binge watch for, like I said, 2-3 hours straight, and then wonder why I didn't have time to do anything I wanted to do. It's because I was scrolling on social media. Yeah, and it got really bad. I would listen to TikToks while I was brushing my teeth, or while I was using the bathroom. Sometimes while I would shower, I would try to find a really, really long TikTok video or some random YouTube video, and I would play it while I was in the shower. And I feel like you get your best ideas in the shower. So me just ignoring that and just putting on a video probably did dampen my creativity for a couple years, because that's what I would do. Fun or a smart idea of me. But once I realized that I was wasting a lot of my potential with social media, I decided to cut it out of my life. I haven't had it, like I said, for about 2 months. It's been a great experience. I do get tempted from time to time because I'm like, ooh, maybe I should go see what, is going on. But I usually have people send me TikToks instead, so I just find out through them what the trends are and what's going on. And honestly, after not having it for 2 months, I really just don't care anymore. It's okay, some trend that'll end in 2 days, don't really care about it. Now I want to get into the nitty gritty of why I deleted social media, because there are a couple of instances where I was like, I don't think this is good. I don't think this is good for me. Maybe I should delete it. And then I'd be like, what am I saying? I'm going to keep it for another year. But what finally came to a head is, number one, I wasted a lot of time. Like I was saying, I would binge watch TikTok 2 or 3 hours after I'd get home. Once I started my first 9-to-5 job, this is when I came to the realization of, I'm wasting so much time, so much potential of doing things that I want to do, like making more videos or trying a new hobby or trying to do something creative after work. I would spend that time scrolling. I would spend that time consuming content that really doesn't matter in the long run. I want you to think about the last 5 TikToks or the last 5 Instagram Reels or the last 5 YouTube videos that you've watched, and let me know if you can remember all of them. You can't, can you? That is something I read in an article a while ago, and it kind of stopped me in my tracks of like, I don't remember the last YouTube video, like the last 5 YouTube videos I've watched, and it kind of put in perspective of like, a lot of this stuff is forgettable. So back to the wasting time point. I wasted a lot of time on social media because, especially once I started my 9-to-5 job, I would get home, scroll on YouTube. Okay, let's start at the beginning of the day. So I would get to work at 7:30. First 45 minutes, I would just, do what I actually came to work, what I am paid to do. I would do that for a little bit. Then I'd be like, I just need a little bit of a break. And I would scroll on TikTok for a good 5-10 minutes, nothing too crazy. Then a couple hours go by, go to lunch, scroll for another hour, watch random YouTube videos for about an hour, go back to work, have another break, go on my little walk outside, scroll on TikTok the whole time, or listen to a YouTube video the whole time I'm walking outside. Then I would go home, eat dinner, feed the dog, all that fun stuff. Then I would go back on my phone, scroll another 3-4 hours. It's 10 o'clock. It's time for me to go to bed. Literally, my screen time at the height of my social media, consumption, social media addiction, I was having 7 to 8 hour days of screen time on my phone. Half of it would be like YouTube videos, other half would be TikTok, like a little bit of it would be Instagram Reels, because who's really looking at Instagram Reels? Come on now. Even back then, I wasn't spending time on Instagram Reels because I think they're crazy. But yeah, it was crazy. I was wasting 7 hours of my life just scrolling and looking at people that I will never meet, that I don't care about really, looking at trends that will be gone in the next 2 days. Like, it was just so much time wasted that I could be creating things. Like, I could have started this podcast months ago if I didn't have social media and this idea came to me and I just executed. But I would just spend so much time. One thing about me is when it comes to starting something new, I'll watch 1,000,001 YouTube videos about it. Wanted to start a podcast? Watch 20 million videos about it before I even got the setup. When I started I had a social media business like many moons ago, and when I started that, I watched 5 million videos about how to start a social media management company, created a whole Instagram page, created a TikTok page, posted 5 TikToks, and I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. This isn't fun. But it's like, no, you just like the idea of it because you see it on social media. It's not that you actually like it. It's the romanticization that you see on social media makes you feel like you can do it, but once you're in the actual thick of it, you're like, ooh, this is not for me. And that happened to me so many times with social media because I would waste my time analyzing and thinking it over and watching 1,000,000 videos, watching 1,000,000 TikToks instead of actually doing it and seeing if I like it. By the time that I started, I didn't want to do it anymore. So I just wasted so much of my time doing that. And that is one of the reasons why I quit. Next thing is comparison. Oh my gosh, I used to compare myself a lot to people, especially if you're in the space of you are a content creator yourself or you're trying to get into the content creator space on top of consuming content. I just think those two combinations don't work out. You either have to be a creator or you have to be a consumer, or you have to change up what you consume and it's not the same thing that you're creating, if that makes sense. So let me explain it to you. Many moons ago, I wanted to be a lifestyle creator, so I would watch a lot of vlogs and I would start to compare myself and be like, well, my videos don't look like that and I don't have, this amazing setup or this really interesting life to make vlogs about, so I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try to make vlogs because nobody's going to care. You don't know if that's true. And I just spent so much time comparing myself to other people, consuming other people's lives that I will probably never meet. Even with people I actually know, I would compare myself to like people I graduated high school with, people I graduated college with, and just seeing what they're doing with their lives and be like, well, my life isn't like that. Like, I see people get married, I see people have babies, not saying I want to have kids anytime soon, but I would see people have babies, I would see people get married, move out, buy their first house, and it felt like that I need to be doing those things because I'm seeing that all over my social media feed, when in reality, the only thing you see are people's highlight reels. And once I realized that, I was like, okay, well, maybe I don't need to see what everybody in my life ever is doing 24/7 every day, because that's taking me away from the stuff I want to do with my life, So that was probably my number one reason of deleting social media, is the comparison, because I already have a hard time comparing myself to people in real life. But if you add on social media on top of that, that's like 10 times worse because people are just posting what they want you to see. So you comparing your 100% self to somebody's curated Instagram or TikTok feed, no wonder that you want their life, because that's not even attainable for them. They curated that image. It took them hours to figure out the right angle, the right lighting, the right filter, the right music to make that look so great. But you taking that as like their actual life, you shouldn't do that. I just feel like it's just something you shouldn't do. That is why I got rid of it. Okay, I needed to let go of the potential social media success that I once had. So when I was in college, started to make videos about working at Walmart during the pandemic, and they kind of popped off because everybody was trying to get a job at Walmart. Everybody was looking for some part-time job, especially if you were in college at the time, and Walmart was very, very, I don't know, it was just a popular topic, so I made videos about it. And one of those videos got I think 70,000 views, which is really, really big for me back in the day. It would still be big for me now. Let's not kid ourselves. But once that video hit 70,000 views, I just went with it. I started making videos about working at Walmart, how I got my job at Walmart, recording vlogs at Walmart, everything surrounded by this topic about something that I didn't even really care about that much. I just made it to help people. I had to just let that go. I had to let go that little taste of social media, stardom and social media influence, and start something new. That is why I've started this podcast on a separate channel. I've started a booktube channel on a separate channel. I don't even make videos on that first channel anymore because it was too much of an old version of me that I'm not even trying to be anymore. I'm trying to be that isn't just about working at Walmart. And I feel like once you do one thing on social media, that is what everybody wants you to do for the foreseeable future. Whereas we're human beings. We are changing every single day. And if I don't want to make videos about Walmart anymore, I'm not going to want to make videos anymore. But once I started to make other content, people, rightfully so, we came here for the Walmart videos, not you. So can you get back to what you were doing? That's kind of the vibe I was going through. So I had to let that past version of me go and just start something new, start something fresh. It can be really overwhelming and really daunting to start something new when you've already done it before. But it's like, that's not what I want to be known for anyway, so it was okay that I had to restart. Anyway, that's something I had to do. I realized is that I don't want to follow trends. I've never been the type of person to follow trends in the first place. Like, even in high school with fashion trends, I literally would wear shirts like this. If you're listening audio, I'm wearing a tie-dye Bucky shirt that I bought for $15 when I went to Bucky's a couple months ago. I would wear this stuff in high school. I'm not over here dripped in designer or dripped in whatever is popular in the time. I don't even know what the fashion trends are today. I have no idea. And it's I've never a big trend follower. I never have been. And when it comes to social media, it's you kind of get into a loop, a vacuum, dark hole of just stuff that they think that you want to get or that you want to buy because the algorithm and what you're liking or what your age range is considering on trend. I've seen so many stupid trends this year already. Didn't they have the mob boss trend and I know the clean girl trend was big last year. Just so many dumb trends that don't matter. But when you're on social media, it feels like that's what everybody is doing. So you think that you need to do it too, when in reality, we just need to be ourselves. I will always be a random graphic t-shirt, tennis shoe wearing person, and nothing on social media is going to make me change that. But when I was on it, I would kind of be wait, well, maybe I need to wear that. Maybe if I do buy that thing, it'll make me feel a little bit better. Once I deleted social media, I was I don't want any of this crap. There's nothing, not following those trends has only made my life a lot better because even though I was never a really trendy person, I never probably will be a trendy person because I don't really care about that stuff. It's just seeing how fast trends move nowadays because I haven't been on social media in a minute, and seeing YouTube videos about all the different trends that pop up and go away in 0.5 seconds is crazy. We had the Stanley Cups trending a couple months ago. Now nobody wants them anymore. We have the different aesthetics trending that change every 2 weeks, and it's people aren't going to know who they really are because they just keep following trends over and over and over again. And it's no, I don't want to do this. So that is why I had to delete it. It was just not, even though I was never trendy, I was I'm not going to force myself to look at this stuff if I don't want to. So I deleted it. Another thing I realized that social media is actually boring. After being on social media for the past 12 years now, 10, 12 years, whatever now, I realized that people are boring on social media. It's just the same thing over and over again, especially nowadays because everybody and their mom wants to be an influencer and make money and go on brand deals, that everybody is posting the same thing every single day. And it's like, can we do something a little bit creative? Can we do something a little bit different? Can we get a little oomph, a little something? Can we get a little bit of something? But it's like, no, people are just going to keep posting the same thing over and over and over again because they think that's what works. When in reality, what works is being yourself. Cut away all the crap of doing what everybody else is doing and just do what you want to do. Okay? That's all you got to do. But those are the main reasons why I deleted social media. And if you are thinking of deleting social media, let me give you a couple of tips on if you want to dive into this, but you're like, well, I don't know if I really want to delete all my social media accounts right now, but I do want to take a little bit of a break. So here's what I'll tell you. First thing, look at your screen time. I know it might be daunting. I know it might be, you've probably never looked at it because you were scared like me. And you might see you have, 8-9 hours on there. That's all right. That was me too. I had that too. Look at your screen time. Evaluate what apps are really taking precious time away from you. Turn off your notifications. Turning off notifications is really, really helpful because when I had social media, the notifications would pop up and I would click it and then I would get in that doom scroll loop and I would just keep scrolling forever. So definitely turn off notifications. And if you have to, just delete the app. You don't have to delete your whole account. I have all my accounts I still have. I didn't delete my actual social media account because one day I might want to get the app back and I don't want to start over again. Heck no. So just delete the app off your phone. Or if you I know before when I tried this before, I would just hide my apps in different folders and hide it away from myself. Sometimes you can just end up finding it again and you'll doom scroll, but you can start off with just hiding it, I just think everybody just needs to take a little break. Everybody needs a little break from social media just to see what'll happen, like I said, I've been 2 months off of social media. It's been great. I think I've created the most content I've ever made besides when I was a child in a while because I haven't had TikTok or Instagram to, get overwhelmed by or get in this consumeristic loop over. The only thing I still have is YouTube. Now, I may have to take a break from that because I have been watching a lot of YouTube videos. Might have to make a part 2 to this and talk about how I get over my YouTube addiction because that's still a problem today. But yeah, those are all the tips that I have about getting over your getting over your social media addiction. It's hard, but you can do it. If I've done it, you can do it. So yeah, if you have any other tips on how you got over your social media addiction or how your relationship with social media is, if you're thinking about doing a social media detox or deleting social media altogether, let me know in the Q&A section or in the comments of this episode. Let me know what other episodes you'd want to see, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.